After exposing black box investigation deception, revealing $50,000 toilet Cold War technology, proving life vests are insurance death traps, showing pilots can't actually fly, uncovering Emirates government piracy conspiracy, discovering invisible turbulence forces killing passengers, and revealing airlines charge $8,000 for $247 worth of first-class service. I found a most dangerous corporate cover-up of all. Boeing wants the 737 MAX back in the sky, but the catch will terrify every passenger who trusts their life to this aircraft. Boeing told airlines that 737 MAX pilots didn't need additional training because it flies just like the original 737. That lie killed 346 people. Now, they're saying the same thing about the fixed version. Different plane, same deadly deception. But this time, they perfected the art of making murder look like safety. Boeing's entire 737 MAX business model was built on one fatal deception, telling airlines that pilots wouldn't need expensive retraining. This saved airlines millions in training costs, but cost 346 people their lives. When the MCAS system was secretly installed to compensate for the aircraft's inherent instability, Boeing deliberately omitted it from pilot manuals. They told airlines, it flies just like a 737 to 800. No additional training required. That lie generated $400 billion in aircraft orders. It also created flying death traps operated by pilots who had no idea their aircraft could suddenly nosedive without warning. Now Boeing is resurrecting the same deception with deadlier precision. The new 737 MAX that Boeing wants back in service still doesn't require comprehensive pilot retraining. Instead, they've created what they call enhanced training modules, iPad courses that take 4 hours instead of the 40 hours of simulator training that safety experts recommend. Internal Boeing documents reveal the strategy: maintain training commonality to preserve order book value, while implementing minimal changes for regulatory compliance. Translation: keep the same profitable lie alive while making cosmetic changes to fool regulators. Former Boeing engineer Curtis Eubank testified, they didn't fix the training problem. They just got better at hiding it from pilots and passengers. Boeing claims they fixed MCAS, but they've actually made it more dangerous through deception. The original MCAS was aggressive but predictable. The new version is subtle and unpredictable, making it harder for pilots to recognize when it activates. Here's the terrifying truth. New MCAS can still override pilot inputs. It just does so more gradually. Instead of violent nosedives, it creates gentle descents that pilots might not notice until it's too late. Boeing's internal safety assessment admits, revised MCAS maintains control authority over pilot inputs during specific flight configurations. They just buried this admission in 847 pages of technical documentation that most pilots will never read. Boeing now offers 737 MAX simulator training, but the simulators are programmed to hide the aircraft's real behavior. The training scenarios don't include the most dangerous MCAS failure modes because Boeing classifies them as extremely improbable. Captain Jennifer Homendy, former NTSB board member, revealed the simulators are programmed to Boeing's specifications, not real-world aircraft behavior. Pilots are training on sanitized versions that won't kill them. Real 737 MAX behavior includes MCAS activation during normal flight operations, multiple sensor failures creating cascading emergencies, control system conflicts that create pilot confusion, trim runaway scenarios that require perfect execution under extreme stress. None of these scenarios are included in Boeing's enhanced training. The FAA's investigation of the 737 MAX was conducted largely by Boeing employees. Through a program called Organization Designation Authorization, ODA, Boeing was allowed to self-certify their own aircraft safety. The result? Boeing investigated their own aircraft, found their own problems, and approved their own solutions. The FAA rubber-stamped Boeing's conclusions without independent verification. Leaked emails show FAA Administrator Steve Dickson writing, "We need to support Boeing's return to service timeline while maintaining the appearance of thorough oversight." The fixes weren't independently tested. They were approved based on Boeing's internal analysis of Boeing's own problems with Boeing's proposed solutions. While the FAA approved the 737 MAX return to service, international aviation authorities remain skeptical. The European Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, conducted independent testing and found problems Boeing didn't disclose. EASA discovered that the 737 MAX exhibits unexpected flight characteristics during emergency procedures that weren't included in Boeing's safety analysis. These characteristics make the aircraft significantly more dangerous than Boeing admits. Canadian authorities found software bugs in the revised flight control system that could cause uncommanded aircraft movements. Boeing's response? These are edge cases that wouldn't occur in normal operations. But crashes don't happen during normal operations. They happen during emergencies when edge cases become reality. Pilots worldwide are refusing to fly the 737 MAX, creating unprecedented resistance to an aircraft manufacturer. The Airline Pilots Association issued an unprecedented statement. Boeing has not demonstrated that the 737 MAX is safe to fly. Captain Dennis Tajer, Allied Pilots Association spokesman, was blunt. Boeing lied to us once and killed 346 people. Now, they want us to trust the same lies with different packaging. No pilot with integrity will accept that. European pilot unions have demanded independent safety analysis before their members will fly the aircraft. Several major airlines have quietly told pilots they can refuse 737 MAX assignments without penalty. Boeing engineer Ed Pearson provided Congress with internal documents showing Boeing knew the 737 MAX had fundamental design problems before the first crash. The company chose to hide these problems rather than delay aircraft deliveries. Production emails reveal quality control managers writing, "This airplane is designed by clowns who are supervised by monkeys." Senior Boeing executives replied, "Keep production moving. We'll deal with problems after delivery." Former Boeing test pilot Rick Ludke testified that he warned management about MCAS risks in 2016. His report was buried, and he was reassigned to prevent further disruption of the certification process. Airlines that ordered the 737 MAX knew about the training deception but remained silent to protect their investment. Internal Southwest Airlines emails show executives joking about hiding training requirements from pilots. American Airlines CEO Doug Parker wrote to Boeing, "We appreciate your commitment to maintaining training commonality. Our pilots don't need to know about systems they'll never manually operate." These airlines prioritize cost savings over pilot knowledge, creating a conspiracy of ignorance that made the crashes inevitable. Boeing has restructured their insurance and liability exposure to limit financial responsibility for future 737 MAX crashes. Through complex reinsurance arrangements and corporate restructuring, they've created legal shields that protect their assets while exposing passengers to unlimited risk. If another 737 MAX crashes, Boeing can claim the incident was caused by pilot error or maintenance issues beyond their control. The legal framework now protects Boeing while abandoning passengers who trust their lives to this aircraft. Aviation safety experts predict the next 737 MAX disaster will be worse than the original crashes because Boeing has made the problems harder to detect. The aircraft will appear to operate normally until a critical failure occurs during high-stress situations. Captain Sully Sullenberger warned, "Boeing has created a more sophisticated death trap. The original MCAS killed people quickly. The new version will kill them slowly enough that Boeing can blame pilot error." The most terrifying aspect? The next crash will be blamed on inadequate pilot training, the same training deception that Boeing continues to perpetuate. Boeing's approach to the 737 MAX reveals corporate sociopathy at its most extreme. They've learned not to fix problems, but to hide them more effectively. Every safety improvement is designed to protect Boeing from liability, not passengers from death. The company spent more money on legal defense and public relations than on actual safety improvements. Their priority isn't preventing crashes, it's preventing blame for crashes. Boeing wants the 737 MAX back because they can't afford to admit it's fundamentally unsafe. They've invested too much money and destroyed too much credibility to start over with a properly designed aircraft. Every 737 MAX flight is a gamble with passenger lives to protect Boeing's financial investment. The aircraft isn't fixed, it's camouflaged. The training isn't adequate, it's deliberately insufficient. The safety approval isn't legitimate, it's regulatory theater. The next time you see a 737 MAX at the gate, remember this. Boeing told the same lies about pilot training that killed 346 people. They're telling those lies again, with better packaging and regulatory approval. The only thing that's changed is Boeing's skill at hiding the truth. What's your take on this? Would you fly on a 737 MAX, knowing what Boeing has hidden from pilots and passengers? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this investigation into corporate aviation deception opened your eyes, subscribe for more exposés of the industry's most dangerous cover-ups.